On the latest episode of Real Time with Bill Maher, he gave his take on the difference between Republicans and Democrats. Take a look.
Politics in this country is binary. You have to wear everything anyone on your side does. Republicans are the party of don't wear masks, kids in cages, lock her up, and Democrats are the party of every hypersensitive social justice warrior woke story in the news. They're the party that disappears people or tries to make them apologize for ridiculous things.
So I'll start with you, Sarah. Do you agree with this assessment?
Well, if you watch the full clip, that particular part seems possibly a little too parsed for me, but his whole clip actually did resonate with me. I think so many people can agree on the problems in this country, from economy to racism to healthcare, but we don't necessarily agree on the solutions or where we need to go with that. I think the left and Democrats, and a lot of the conversations I have, people are so busy parsing language that we end up just not having conversations, which leads us nowhere. There's a point in that Bill Maher show where he goes to when he goes to President Obama. Take a look at this.
Idea of purity, and you're never compromised, and you're always politically woke and all that stuff. You should get over that quickly.
So he goes on to say that was a clip from October 2019 at an Obama Foundation summit. And he actually goes on to say the world is messy, there are ambiguities, people who do really good stuff have flaws, people who you're fighting may love their kids and share certain things with you. I just found so much wisdom in what he said. And I think a lot of the post-election conversations between Democrats are showing that they're starting to realize maybe there's a divide even in the party about how to get to the solutions.
Right. What do you think, Joy? Was Bill Maher correct in his assessment?
You know, I love Bill Maher, and I agree with him most of the time. But you know what? I don't think that the Democrats did badly this year because of the woke culture. I really don't. I think that they did poorly and worse than they should have. But let's not forget the big enchilada is out. But they did poorly maybe because of the messaging. The right wing loves to have a slogan that they can use against us. So they were saying socialism, socialism, and people think, oh, we're going to be like Venezuela or Cuba. They forget that socialism is Social Security, socialism is unemployment insurance, socialism is Medicare and Medicaid. That's socialism, okay? And they're in the middle of it, and none of them want to give it up. So I think that that's really the truth of it, that it's not about woke culture. Nobody cares that much about it, in my opinion.
What do you think,
by the
Sonny?
way, defunding the police. Defunding the police was another one. It's like, no. And no one on Joe Biden's team ever said we should defund the police. The nuance of it is we will give the money to social programs so the police don't have to work as hard with criminals. But that didn't get through. All they heard was take money from the police. It's the messaging that was wrong. Okay.
What's your thoughts, Sonny?
I know we don't have a lot of time, but for me, the bottom line is that the term woke is now being used to ridicule people who are advocating against social injustice. And I think it's become, sort of co-opted into this alleged culture war. And I was, quite frankly, insulted by what Bill Maher had to say. I think he completely missed the mark in so many ways. And we don't have time for me to outline them, but he just missed the mark.
What do you think, Anna? Did he miss the mark for you?
Look, I live in Miami, Florida. Two moderate Democrat congresswomen lost their seat here, Donna Shalala and Debbie Mercoselle-Powell, because they were labeled socialists, because they had to explain defund the police. It was an albatross around their neck. And so sometimes things that play well in Minnesota or that play well in New York City do not play well in other places. And I think that Republicans were very effective in nationalizing some of these things, turning them into national boogie monsters and campaigning on that. And they were effective. They won seats because of that. And Democrats lost seats because they had that thing on their back, that weight on their back they had to carry.